How's it going, guys? Mike here on the Tressa's Collectibles channel. Rascal Does Not Dream of a Dreaming Girl is finally out in English at long last. So this is set 2 of the Rascal Does Not Dream of a series, or the Bunny Girl series, where set 1 was the Rascal Does Not Dream of a Bunny Girl Senpai that covered season 1 of the anime. This set covers the sequel movie. And then we actually do have a second season announced, which is very, very exciting for all of us Bunny Girl fans out there. But in the meantime, we finally do have the English set for set 2 out at long last. So let's go ahead and crack 2 boxes open today, and we'll take a look and see what happens. Alright, so let's start with the first box. So the Rascal set, for this particular set, in terms of the case ratio, I do believe that it is either 2 SPs or 1 SP and 1 secret rare. And the secret rares that are possible, just like set 1, are Mai and Shoko. Whereas the SPs, I believe, are also the same cast of characters. You have Nodoka, Mai, Shoko, Koga, and Futaba, I believe. So one case of 18 boxes will yield you 2 cumulative SPs. Now, given that this is an Aniplex licensed set, unfortunately, the signatures did get replaced with stamps. But I do think personally that these stamps look pretty. They could be worse. You know, I am a fan of them. I personally am a pretty big Rascal fan, so I think I will go ahead and collecting a bunch of these for my own personal collection. Let me know how you guys feel about how this particular design looks. Obviously, it's not optimal, not ideal that we don't get the signatures, but we have to. It is what it is, right? I would much rather prefer us to get these Aniplex license sets without signatures than not get them at all. I feel like that is a much worse outcome. All right, so let's go ahead and start with our pack openings. See if we can hit something cool today. So this set covers the movie, so in case you guys... Oh, we have our first foil already. But let me finish my train of thought first. So in case you guys haven't seen the movie already, this obviously does cover the contents of the movie, and I will be talking about some of the major plot points in this box opening. So if you guys don't want to get spoiled by what happens, I would suggest maybe tuning in once you have finished watching the movie. But we do have our first foil already. We have the Santa Claus Duel Mai Sakurajima, which is a really good card actually. On play, mill 2, and then if you did mill a climax, you can choose one of your characters and they get 1500 power for the turn. And then also on play, you can pay 1, discard 1 to salvage one of your Adolescence characters, and then give one of your other Adolescence characters 1000 power for the turn. So this is a reminiscent of the level 0 Saya from the first Bane Dream set. This is basically the exact same card. In terms of the foiling, I really like that they did, I don't know if you guys can see this, but they have a snowflake pattern for the foiling, which reflects, the fact that Mai is in a Santa Claus costume. So this set has a lot of really pretty Mai cards, really pretty Mai foils, so this is only one of the few that we have. Alright, let's see if we can get a second foil of this box. So in terms of set 2, a thing that they are emphasizing in this set overall in terms of set design, back when the set first came out in Japanese, is they really wanted to emphasize 2 different archetypes. There's the memory archetype for Mai and the experience archetype for Shoko. So throughout, when we look at a bunch of these cards, you will see that there are a lot of cards that either go to memory or kind of work with experience. This Sakuta is actually a pretty cool card. It's on play mill 3, and then it's also on play you can discard bond, but then the discard bond targets, instead of only having 1 target, he can actually bond to either the level 3 Shoko from double rare from this set, hopefully we can pull one of her, either the level 3 Shoko from this set, or the level 3 Mai from set 1. And both of their names are irreplaceable existence. So here, just like the name says, Sakuta is making a bitter decision. So just like in the movie, he has to choose between whether or not he wants to, he basically has to choose between Mai and Shoko, with Shoko's life on the line, basically. So, okay. And this 1/1 is one of the cards that works with the entire Shoko level 3 package, where It actually has two different arts, where it's one of them is Sakuta reading, I think, Shoko's letter, and then the other one is Shoko writing, I think, her plans. But there's also a level 3 event that works with this event as well, so I think I'll put this on the side for now, and we will for sure pull one of those events, so we can go ahead and talk about that whole package when we get there. This level 0 Shoko is pretty useful. It's on play, you can pay 1, clock yourself, and summon a cost 0 or lower adolescence from your deck, whose level is equal to or lower than your current level, and summon it. The Rascal series, even with set 2, doesn't really have great on-play clock advantage. I believe this is one of the only few that has it. While it does have a lot of on-death advantage tools, if you did want to have an on-play advantage tool, this is one of your only options. Especially given the current climate of the game, you might be incentivized to run this Shoko just for her on-play plusing effect, because you might be scared of permanent removal like stock bombs, bottom deck bombs, or even the cards like the Itsuki from Quintessential Quintuplets, that can give one of its characters on reverse, it can clock shoot the character, right? So there's a lot of permanent removal running around in basically response to, being able to remove sticky hand encore or cards like level 0 Aqua from Hololive. So unfortunately, a lot of these other on-death effects from other sets kind of get hit in the crossfire, so to say. So I think this level 0 Shoko can be a pretty decent go-to if you want to get that guaranteed advantage here. Moving on. Alright, we have our first double rare. This is the double rare Koga, which on attack you can choose one of your characters and they get X power equal to the number of the adolescence characters in your backstage times 1000. So if you have double back row, then she can give on attack another character 2000. And then at the start of your encore, or at the start of any encore, if you do not have another rested character in your center stage, you can pay 1 and rest her. So it's a pseudo encore. A pretty good level 0 game plan to be able to kind of reliably field multiple attackers while still being able to kind of know, like, okay, I can pay 1 stock and also just have her saved. Again, this is, going to be kind of abusable against bottom deck bombs, stock bombs. But if you did want to go for a game plan where you might want to, try to apply pressure early on, maybe try to tri-lane on level 0, then this Koga can be a pretty good pick for you. Okay. This is a Leafa counter, so we say. So we finally have a Leafa counter in Bunny Girl. Mai is when you play a climax, or when you play this backup, reveal the top card of your deck, and if it's an adolescence character, you can add it to your hand and discard a card. So it lets you be able to filter the top card of your deck if it's not a climax, giving you a higher chance to cancel. And then for our rare for this pack, it is the level 0 Shoko, which is on play, you can top strike 2 and rearrange. And then on attack, you can, if you have one of those other characters, mill the top card of your deck, and then if that card is a level 0 or lower character, you can put it on any position in your backstage. So these two particular effects do synergize pretty well because you get to check what your top 2 cards are, and if one of them is a level 0 character, you can put that on the top, and then you'll have that guaranteed +1 by milling that level 0 that you rigged on the top. And then also has pretty good value even after the first 1 or 2 turns because of just her on-play top strike 2 rearrange effect. This kind of effect is always going to be useful. It helps you make decisions like, should I brainstorm this turn or not? What kind of attack order should I have? Can I side this character, with proper and then be able to trigger for soul, right? So not a shabby card at all. All right, next up, let's see. Alright, we have our second double rare. This is the level 2 Futaba. It's a level 2 combo, but it actually can come down at level 1 through a changer that's a 1-0 with a climax combo that changes into this Futaba from hand. But what this level 2 does is on attack, she gets X power times the number of your other adolescence characters times 1000. So if you have a full board, then she actually gets 4000 power on attack, which is definitely not too shabby. Climax combo on reverse. If you have the climax in the climax area, which is a book, then you can look at up to the top 4 cards of your deck and add up to 1 adolescence character twice. Or let me rephrase that. Activate the following effect up to twice, where you can look at up to the top 4 cards of your deck and add up to 1 adolescence character. So you can top check 4, add 1 twice. So a really useful card if you want to, just have something that can naturally get through your deck pretty fast and have a pretty big wall on top, because if she does activate her on reverse climax combo effect, she also gets 1000 power until the end of your opponent's next turn as well. So she'll be base 8k on defense. Given that she looks at so many cards and is able to, activate her add effect twice, maybe we can add some counters, level 1 counters, and then maybe we can set up a pretty decent level 1 wall in order to protect our Futabas further. So if you like Futaba finally does have I would say, really solid level 1 climax combo now. So Futaba fans out there can finally rejoice. Okay, and then for our rare, this is a free runner, basically. So just a generic 2k, and then at the beginning of your opponent's attack phase, you can move this to another open slot in your center stage. Alright, this Sakta, definitely one of the standout commons from this set. This 1-0 Sakta, he has 2 startup abilities, where one of them is you can tap himself and choose one of your adolescence characters, and they get 1500 until end of turn. And then his second effect is sacrifice himself and discard a card from our hand to salvage any character from our waiting room. So kind of like the Helmet Kanata second effect, or the Quintessential Quintuplets promo card, the 1-0 as well. Now this kind of effect that allows us to filter for exactly what we want in our waiting room without spending stock is extremely powerful. And not to mention that his second effect, being able to give someone power before he sends himself to the waiting room, means that, it oftentimes is just, you basically always want to see this card. If you have red, I would highly recommend running a copy or 2 of this card in any build that can fit red. Unfortunately, it is a level 1 card, so to play this card we have to have red. But fortunately for us, red and Bunny Girl Senpai does have really good cards, and the set 1 Kaede early play is still one of the best early play healers from the set. So if anything, this is even further incentive for us to run some red. Okay. This Sakta. This Sakta is very, very flavor. I often say this, but Bushiroad, the Weiss Schwarz development team, does such a good job with fitting flavor into a lot of the cards, and this card is certainly one of the most flavorful that I've seen in a while. So this Sakata has 2 effects, where when he is frontal attacked, we can pay 2 and bounce him back to hand, and if we do, we can summon a particular Mai or a particular Sakta and from our hand, and then put it on the stage position that it was on. Now let me see if we've pulled any of the Mai or Sakta. Yeah, so this is one of... Oh, actually we have pulled both. Excellent. Okay, so the level 1 Sakta, when he's front attack, he can pay cost and bounce, and I can choose either one of these characters from our hand and play it. So the 2-1 Sakta is on play. I can put the 1-0 Sakta from my hand underneath him as a marker, and then if he has a marker, he gets 2/5 power. So he becomes like a pretty big beater. And then if we choose to change into the 1-1 Mai, the 1-1 Mai is an anti-level stock bomb. But what is flavorful, really, is that Sakta in the movie has to choose between basically saving Shoko or choosing not to save Shoko and living a life with Mai. Now, Mai in the movie, she's really adamant about trying to save Sakta from, not saving Shoko, because she wants him to live and for them to live a life together. So the 1-0 is basically at the turning point where he has to make a decision. And if he makes the choice where he doesn't save Shoko, then you can choose to go into either of these cards. This one is where Sakta is kind of regretting his decision to not save Shoko, or he can change into the Mai, where Mai comes in and then saves Sakta, because the other effect of this stock bomb is actually at the beginning of our opponent's attack phase, we can pay 1, and if we do, this Mai swaps positions on stage with another one of our Saktas. So kind of like how Sakta is about to get hit by the truck, Mai can swap places with a Sakta, and then Mai will be the one that's going to, be the brunt of that accident. Right? So that's only half of the card. The other effect of the Sakta is when this card is sent from the waiting room to the waiting room from the stage, you can pay 2 and summon summon any character with Shoko in its name. Pay 2 to salvage any Shoko in its card name, and then return it to hand. So this is the scenario that if he chose to sacrifice himself to save Shoko, then when he dies, gets sent to the waiting room, Shoko got saved, so you can pay 2 and salvage any Shoko from the waiting room of your choice. Like, oh my god, like, I can't believe how much flavor this is. Like, when I first read this card and read these cards, I was just like, I was basically just reliving the entire movie again, even though I hadn't seen it for, at this point, a couple years now. My mind was just blown. I could not believe that they went with this flavor. And, have it still be sort of, playable, right? Because, like, you could bring out, like, a 2-1, 11-5, or you can bring out an anti-level stock bomb. So either way, your opponent probably isn't getting a very profitable attack off of the 1-0, right? And then, or if you just, choose to do nothing, you can just pay 2 and salvage a Shoko, so you kind of can still recur your hand advantage that way. Oh my gosh, what a crazy card. For our rare, we have a 1-1 Nodoka. She gets 2k if we have 2 or more other adolescents, and then she has hand on court. So what we were missing in the first set, if we wanted to play a standby show, was this kind of generic 1-1-7-5 hand on court. Unfortunately, in the new set, we don't actually get more standby support. So unfortunately, if we did want to play a standby in Bunny Girl, we still have to go with the set 1 Kaede combo. Not to mention, since set 1 only has 1 standby, we can at most only play 1 standby in our deck. Alright, there we are. Here's the second event that I wanted to bring up in relation to the first event. So let's talk about the level 3 event first. The level 3 event sends this 1-1 event from memory to waiting room. And if you do, you can choose 1 3-2 Shoko that we haven't seen yet from our level and put it onto any position of our stage. Put the 3-1 event into the level zone, so like you're not necessarily healing a level, you're sending a 3-2 Shoko from your level zone to the stage and then putting this into your level, and then that Shoko gets 6k until the end of the turn. So future plans is, if this specific name is not in your memory already, you can put this into your memory, and then you can choose 1 card in your level and 1 3-2 Shoko from your waiting room and then replace them. And then choose 1 of your characters, and that character gets 2,000 power until end of turn. When this is in memory and you level up, you can look at the top card of your deck, and if it's an adolescence character, you can add up to 1 adolescence character among them, reveal it to your opponent, and then put the rest in your waiting room. So basically, when you level up, you can top check, and if it's a character, you can add a hand. And the reason why that we want Shoko to be in our level, even though she is our finisher, is because the deck requires experience. The new level 1 Shoko Climax combo, which is also a double rare, requires experience 2 or higher in order to activate her effects. And then the level 3 Shokos requires experience 6. So the act of the 3-1 event summoning a Shoko from your level zone and then putting itself back into the level zone still maintains that EXP requirement while being able to kind of cheat out a Shoko and have it be really large. So that's the idea between these cards here. And obviously these things are, of Shoko's, future plans. Everything is... just talking about these cards makes me want to watch the movie again, watch the whole series again. And Bunny Girl is definitely one of my favorite series. Nothing in particular on this pack. This card is on play. Wait, no, hold on. It's if you don't have any markers underneath this card, you can rest this character and then choose 1 character with Mai in its card name and then put it underneath her as a marker. And then second effect is you can pay 1 and then send a marker underneath this card to the waiting room and then rest herself to top check 3 and add any one adolescence character from among them and then send the rest. So it's a kind of a slow card, but basically you are able to rest yourself to get a marker, and then second turn rest yourself again, pay 1, sack the marker, rest yourself, and then top check 3 out of 1. Adolescence. Probably not the most useful way of gaining advantage since it is a bit slow, but if you did want to have that option. Alright. Oh yeah, this is this level 0 Sakta. It's like if you wanted to play the whole event package with the Shoko level 3 on top of having the 1/1 and the 3/1 event, thankfully they did print a bonder that basically gets either event. So the Sakta on play, you can discard a card to salvage the level 1 event, and then also on play you can discard a card and salvage the level 3 event. So if you wanted your hand to be precisely these two events, all you have to do is play the Sakta, and then there you go. Alright, for our third double rare, we pulled the level 0 Mai. This is a clean cut, so when she reverses a battle opponent, we can rest one of our characters and send it to the backstage. And then on play, we mill the top 2 cards of our deck, and then she gets X power times the number of level 1 or higher cards times 1000. So the reason I would presume that she checks for level 1 or higher is because they're really incentivizing us to play a lot of events in this set. Mai has her own set of events, Shoko has her own set of events, and then even from set 1, there might be some events that you might want to consider running as well. So, instead of, trying to... They're basically incentivizing you to run events, basically. It's like, oh, we don't want to have this effect only hit adolescence characters so that you'll whiff on events and not feel good about it. The downside, though, is obviously most decks do run a hefty amount of level 0s, and climaxes are also treated as level 0s, so given the current climate of the game where 3-5 is basically the magic number to reach, if you don't mill 2 level 1 or higher, then she doesn't get to above 3-5, which can be a deal breaker sometimes. Okay, and then our rare is a pretty useful level 0 bomb. On play, this Shoko mills 2, and then if there is a climax revealed amongst those cards, you can choose one of the opponent's front row characters, and they get minus 1000 for the turn. So if they're 1000 or lower power, they actually automatically get sent to the waiting room. So this can be useful to combat things like the level 0 Bell Bouncer from Danmachi. And then her second effect is a level 0 Stock Bomb. So being able to Stock Bomb and also having a sometimes random occurrence of being able to kill something as well can be pretty useful. But if you're looking for a way to answer, the Laplaces and Aquas of the world, even if they have even if they have that character on the side lane, the 500 power Shoko will be able to answer that very cleanly. Okay, fourth double rare is the level 3 Nodoka. Definitely one of the better double rares from this set. On play, Nodoka can top check 3 and add anything to our hand. When we play her Climax combo, which is a choice, if we have another character, if she's in the front row, then we can pay 1, discard 1, and if we do, choose one of our other characters and herself, and they both get on cancel Musashi. So Musashi being on cancel, mill the top card of our deck, and then burn for X plus 1 the level of the milled card. So her effect gives herself and another character that particular effect. So if we have 3 of them and we activate all of them, we get a cumulative 6 instances of the on cancel burn effect, which can be very lethal. So this effect, I would say, is pretty similar to what was her name? Ichika. The Ichika from Quintessential Quintuplet Set 1, the Double Rare Plus, has the same on play top check 3 effect, and then has a very similar when you play Climax, pay 1, discard 1, and then cancel burns everywhere. So this does mean that she has the same weaknesses as the Ichika, where if there is now a money counter that prevents Nodoka from dealing damage, then we can't cancel burn if we don't do any damage at all, right? But otherwise, if we do get to that threshold of having 2 or 3 Nodoka, then it can be a very effective finisher for sure. And then this is definitely one of this upcoming card is one of the premier memory cards if we did want to opt into a memory package. The Mai is, when the Shia is reversed in battle, we can pay 1, discard 1, and send her to the memory in order to salvage 1 adolescence character. I I would say that it's a pretty decent card, but the fact that she doesn't search your deck and doesn't plus is not ideal. But the fact that she can hand fix for us means that we do have utility for this card throughout the entire game. But generally speaking, when we want the hand fix the most, it is on our first several turns. And generally speaking, we don't have that big of a waiting room. So it would have been a lot cooler. It would have been a lot more useful if this card searched instead. But no, it is what it is. Okay, definitely one of the better rares that we have pulled here. This level 0 Kaede it's a climax dropper on play, and then also has a startup where we can rest 2 of our adolescence characters to choose one of our characters and they get 2k. So if we need that random power boost, she can definitely help us do that there. But we finally have a climax dropper, which I would probably just play in every single Bunny Girl list. Honestly, the Kaede is just a really, really nice card. Okay, ooh, we have this December 24th event. It's a green event where we can tap one of our Sakura characters on stage, and then if we do, we can choose an adolescence character in our clock and return to hand, and then put this in memory. So, on paper, right, one cost event to heal from our clock to hand is extremely powerful, right? Obviously, there is the kind of restriction that we do need to tap a Sakura, but given that we have Sakura actually has a fair amount of pretty decent cards, right? I would probably say that fitting green would probably be the harder part about running this card rather than the Sakuras. But if you did want to go for this heal spam kind of strategy, then I think this card is definitely something that you should consider. Maybe play a good amount of the December 24th event. You can play a good amount of the Kaede early play from set 1. If you're playing standby, you could even standby out, like Futabas, and then start walling out your opponent. So that kind of strategy can definitely be of fruit as well. Okay, this second Mai also goes to memory, but instead of pay 1 discarding, this Mai is pay 1, clock yourself, and then send to memory to draw 1. This card does plus, but unfortunately it does rely on just the random draw off the top of our deck. But, beggars can't be choosers, and she is still a plussing card, so something to consider there. And then for our rare, this is a early play healer for Mai. 2 or less climaxes, -1 level in hand, on play heal, and then if we have 3 or more memory, she gets 1000 power. So I would say it's a bit on the weaker side, even with the memory, but if we did want an early play healer in yellow, this is probably the choice. The Mai being a level 3 memory is also very important because if we want to play an experienced deck like Shoko, then if we wanted to play, for example, level 1 Mai into level 3 Shoko, and we want experience 6, this can be a prime target for us to level a level 1 to fulfill yellow for our level 1 Mai combo, and then still, progress towards experience 6 towards the level 3 Shoko. Okay. Yeah, another one of these memory cards where this 1/0 Mai is on during our turn, she gets 1000 power. And then on play, if we have 2 or more cards in memory, we can choose one of our characters and get 2k. Okay, and then for our rare this pack, it's a level 1 Shoko Climax combo. On Climax placement, if this is in the center stage, all of our other characters get on reverse blind stock. And then on attack, we can choose one of our adolescence characters and they get 15. So if you wanted a whole bunch of blind stock, then this could be the card for you. Unfortunately, needing to reverse and also only being blind stock is it's not a fantastic combo, I would say. Okay, we have this 3-1 event. It's a Sakura in the outfit seeking help. Search our deck for one adolescence character, reveal it to our opponent, add it to our hand, and then we can bounce one of our opponent's characters. This is actually a pretty useful card, bouncing an opponent's character without restriction is actually a really useful effect right now. Perhaps we wanted to play our Nodoka finisher, and we're scared of like rest counter or anti-damage counter. What we could do is just play this, search out a Nodoka level 3, and then bounce one of our opponent's characters, and then that Nodoka gets to direct attack. So even that simple one-lane bounce can mean the difference between finishing the game or not. Okay. For this pack, we have a level 3 Might that is also a healer, but she is a stock healer, so on play discard a card and then heal to stock. And if we have 3 or more memory, she gets 1500 and Hand Encore. Unfortunately, she doesn't have an early play condition, so she's basically just a level 3 healer that's 11k Hand Encore, so kind of so-so, I would say. Okay, and we have 4 double rares and 1 foil so far, so we'll see if we can pull another double rare or foil, or even both this set, or this pack, this box. The level 1 Rio is a cost 0 stock bomb, and it also has on play, we can pay 1, discard 1 to search our deck for an adolescence character, so pretty good utility card if we wanted to run a bomb, and she also just comes with a drop search effect. Or if you want to think about it the opposite way, she is a level 1 drop searcher that also comes with a cost bomb effect. Okay, we have our 5th double rare. This is the level 3 Kaede. On play, we can salvage 1 adolescence from our waiting room. On attack, she gets X power times 500 equals the number of adolescents we have on stage, including herself. And then on attack, we can discard 2 to burn 1. So this is kind of reminiscent of the cards like 3-2 Lisbeth from Sword Art Online Ordinal Scale, which is on play salvage, on attack burn. But the Kaede does get fairly large, and we do have cards like the level 3 Nodoka that can stack cancel burns onto the Kaede. And if we do get an extra instance of burn off of her, that only increases our chance that our opponent cancels one of Kaide's attacks, activating all those cancel burn Musashi effects that the Nodokas gave to Kaede. So this could be a pretty good setup if you wanted to go double Nodoka into a Kaede. That could be a very lethal combination. Okay, and then for this rare, we finally have the level 1 that changes into the level 2 Futaba. The level 1 Futaba is on play, draw 1, discard 1. And then Climax combo with the exact same Climax as the level 2 Futaba. When you play the Climax, you can send her to Wait Room and then summon the 2-1 Futaba from your hand. So this is the way to get the level 2 Futaba out at level 1. Alright, so we have our 5 double rares here. And let's see if these last 2 packs have anything. Okay, nothing of note. We did pull the non-foil version of the foil drop salvage Mai. And then for our last pack, oh, very good last card for our rare. So the 3-2 Koga is on play. She gets 500 power times the number of our adolescence characters, and then the second effect activates up to once per turn. During the turn that she's played, when she reverses our battle opponent, we can pay 1 and discard 2 adolescents to restand her. So similar to how the Kaede offers extra instances of damage without a Climax combo, the Tomoe Koga does the same thing and also pairs very well with our Nodoka finisher. The Nodoka, if we have 2 Nodokas and a Koga, we can give all the cancel burns onto the Koga, and since she restands, she has that extra chance of being able to being able to proc that cancel burn for additional sources of damage. And then for our promo card, we got the Chibi Shoko. If we have 1 or less other characters, this card gets 1 level and 1000 power. And same condition, if we have 1 or less other characters, all your other characters get 1001 level. So if we have 2 of these Chibi Shokos, they're both actually level 2 4K. So that's kind of interesting to think about. If you have 2 of these, then your board is practically just not going to die. Your opponent will most likely not be able to answer both of them. So maybe try 4 of this out in your deck if you want like a consistent way to get some free advantage, and maybe that'll work out for you. Even if you have like a runner and then you put a Shoko in the back, then the runner gets another 1001 level, which makes it significantly harder to deal with. Alright, and that's the results of our first box. We have one more box to go, and let's see what we can pull there. Alrighty guys, back with our second box. Let's see. Oh, we pulled the Chibi Mai. So we did pull the two main heroines of the series. The Chibi Mai activates once per turn when she is revealed, reversed in battle. Reveal the top card of our deck, and then if it's a level 2 or higher card, then she goes back rested. So kind of like a coin flip effect. If we have a deck with a ton of level 2s and higher, then sometimes we'll just get that free plus there. Alright, second box. Let's see what we can pull. I didn't talk about this vanilla the first box, so I'll go ahead and talk about it when we pull the card that is accompanying this particular Shoko. Funny thing with Rascal as a set is it actually does have not one, but two vanillas that are actually playable. The first set has the level 0 Futaba that works with the level 1 Sakta, and the Sakta is able to send the Futaba from waiting room to stock on play, so that's like a free stock generator. This Shoko does work with another Shoko, and we'll talk about that when we get there. Okay, we got the healer for this pack. Oh, we got the that's kind of funny how that worked out. Our foil for this box is actually the accompanying card for our level 0 Mai foil. So we pulled the 1/1 Hanon Core 7/5 Nodoka, but if we can put that art together, this is actually part of the same artwork. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, the Nodoka also has the same snowflake foil pattern on the background, so oh man, this is real nice. Yeah, very, very nice. Okay, I'll just put it like this. The Mai we pulled from the first box, but I'll just leave it like this because it looks nice. Okay, and then for the rest of our cards. Oh, I don't think we've pulled this Futaba from our first box, but it's funny how things work out. So you guys, if you guys remember, Attack on Titan final season, the Arthur Braus, Sasha's dad, actually is the exact same effect as this particular Futaba. So this Futaba is front 500, and then start up, we can tap two of our characters and give one of our characters on reverse blind stock. Now, I don't think this card is nearly as good as the Arthur is in Attack on Titan, because Attack on Titan has a lot of endgames that use quite a lot of stock, and they also do have usually the back row to be able to kind of fit in the Arthur, and then the 500 power is also very useful. But in the Bunny Girl, a lot of our endgame is it doesn't necessarily need to be that stock intensive depending on our endgame build, but also we do have other ways of generating stock, like the whole Futaba and Sakata blue package from set 1. But if this is a card that you want to see in terms of just like being able to give from 500 and then stock charge potentially every turn can be very nice. But it is unfortunate that generally speaking, I think in Bunny Girl we do have to use one of our back rows to brainstorm a lot every turn, since we probably will need to keep up hand advantage through brainstorming that way. Okay, our next pack, the very first card, is finally the card that I wanted to talk about. It is this level 1 Shoko, where on play we can discard an adolescence character to search our deck for this particular vanilla from our deck and add it to our hand. And then start up, we can discard the Shoko from our hand to top check up to 4 and add 1 adolescence. So this second effect is actually a startup and it's not on play, so technically, if we wanted to and we had multiple of these level 0 Shokos in hand, we can just basically use the Akatsuki top check 4 event multiple times a turn. So very, very cool synergy. Allows us to discard a adolescence to basically mill 1 from our deck through the effect of searching out this vanilla, and then this vanilla allows us to mill 4 more. And funnily enough, if we use the top check 4 event and we see another level 0 Shoko, we can activate it again. So this package can allow us to really, really quickly get through our deck if we need to. Okay, our first double rare is another Nodoka. Always happy to see more copies of this particular card. Nothing of note from this pack. Alright, we have another Kaede double rare. So we are 2 for 2 right now on duplicates. So we'll see if we can pull some of the other double rares. If we don't, I will obviously let you guys see the rest of the double rares, and we can talk about those after I finish this box. Okay, this Shoko is a level 2 assist, where it's from 500 to all the characters in front. And then experience 3, this card gets the 2 following effects, where when one of our characters triggers a climax with pants in this trigger icon, we can draw in this card one. And then she also gets startup, who can rest herself and choose one of our adolescents that gets 1000. So this effect, or this card, is meant to be a support in the 8 pants deck, which has the 2 double rare Shokos that we have yet to pull, but those are both climax combos with pants. So hopefully we can, at least pull 1 or 2 of them for the remaining double rares for our boxes. Okay. Alright, so this Mai, I don't think I've talked about this Mai before. It's an uncommon that's, when she's in the center stage, she gets 1 soul. And then she's a level 0 stock bomb. So if you wanted to run some more options of permanent removal, but you don't want to run the blue for the Shoko, or you just want to be a bit more aggressive with her +1 soul in the center stage, or in the middle slot, you can run this as your choice of removal as well. But do note that since the Mai is 1000 power instead of 500, if our opponent has something like the level 0 Aqua or Plus on their side lane, those are only 500 power, so this Mai would not be able to effectively remove that Aqua or Plus. So just keep that in mind. Alright. 4K, all of our characters get Encore 2, so I actually think 4Ks are pretty good right now. There's a lot of 3-5s running around, and there's a lot of bombs running around, but 4Ks are generally speaking fairly safe, I would say. Obviously a bomb will still answer it, but then all of the 3-5s will generally not be able to answer a 4K, so deceptively powerful profile right now, I would say. Ideally we have like a 4K that also does something else, but if you did want something that can potentially plus you at level 0, that can be a choice for you. Alright, 1 foil and 2 double rares so far, and we have, including this pack, 5 packs left. Okay, and this pack we did get a climax for our kind of hit slot, so down to the wire. What are we gonna pull? Oh, alright, finally a new double rare. This, let's see, go over through the rest, yeah. So this Shoko is, it's actually a pretty cool and unique card. If we have 4 or more adolescence characters on stage, she gets -1 level 1 hand. She's a global 15 to all of our other adolescents. And then on play, we can look at up to the top X cards of our deck and add 1 of anything, where X equals the number of adolescents. Now, given that her early pick condition is we have to have 4 or more, chances are she always is going to be able to top check 5. And then, now normally these kind of effects these early plays are usually kind of like frontline characters. They have like 10,000 or like 9.5 power or something, right? But the Shoko being an assist, I think, is actually super cool. We can kind of just play her as our power booster assist for the rest of the game, but we can start doing that at level 2, which can support, if we want to early play some other healers or stuff, then the Shoko can be kind of part of that game plan. Or we can, play the Shoko to dig for our climax combos, and we can recur climax combo, and then the Shoko will also be able to give that additional power to even our level 1 climax combos, because she gives all of our adolescence characters a flat 1500 power. So I'm a really big fan of this card. Unfortunately, green is, again, a bit hard to fit, and depending on your strategy, you might not necessarily need that 1500 power, but I honestly think that this is a really good profile, and I wish I saw this kind of profile more in other sets. I'm quite a big fan. Alright. 3 packs left, and we should get at least one more double rare, so we'll see if that happens. This pack, it does not. Alright, 2 packs left. And 2 packs left, and we've pulled only 1 foil and 3 double rares, so this definitely should be something. And it is... oh, this is the level 1 Shoko Climax Combo double rare, so this is one of the past double rares. On attack, if we have another Adolescence character, she gets 1500 for the turn, and on reverse, with experience 2 or higher, Climax Combo, we can salvage 1 character from a waiting room, and then give one of our characters 2k until end of turn. So she'll go to 7k by herself naturally through her own power boost and with the 1k1 Climax. And then if we are able to get one reverse off, then we can really start snowballing the rest of our Shokos, because the first one gives the second one 2k. Unfortunately, she does need to reverse, and her baseline power on the first copy is not necessarily very big, at only 7k, so I would say this is probably not the play if we want to play a level 1 combo, especially given that there is a my level 1 that we haven't pulled that is basically just better on every level, I would say. So if we don't pull it, I'll definitely show it to you guys, but that Mai is definitely super, super good. But if we did want to go with a Shoko themed deck, this is definitely more than serviceable. It is kind of a bummer though that she needs experience 2 or higher, and also needs a reverse. That feels like it's a lot of conditions. Oh, okay, we pulled the second Shoko. Very nice. So our last pack gives us our last double rare, which is the level 3 Shoko, on play heal, and Climax combo on attack with Pants combo, experience 6. So we need a cumulative experience 6 by the time we get to level 3, which is why you guys saw like the 3-1 event swapping 2 level. On attack, experience 6, we can pay 2, and if we do, look at up to the top 3 cards from the top of our opponent's deck, choose up to 3 among them, put them into their deck in any order, and then discard the rest. And then this card gets 2500 power until the end of turn. Oh, and then also we also get to look at the top 1 card of our deck, and then we can either leave it there or send it to waiting room. So basically, this is like super duper Mocha. If you guys are not familiar, Mocha is from Bang Dream. Mocha was like the first popular type of where on attack you can look at the top cards of your opponent's deck and kind of rig them and discard any you don't see, which basically means you can discard any climaxes. But normally speaking, Mocha effects have always been like top check 2 and not 3. So the Shoko being a top check 3 matters quite a bit, because generally speaking, these level 3s are swinging for a base 3 soul, because they have 2 soul and we're playing a 1k1. So the fact that we can top check 3 oftentimes will make the difference between them canceling or not. And the fact that we also get to check our top 1 card means that like if we do want to deal precisely only 3 damage and there's a trigger on top of our deck, we can mill it and try to chance into a non-trigger instead. So very it's a card that I would say is strong, but I would probably consider this to be a bit too restrictive. Not only does she need the experience 6, but I would say that even a top check 3 Mocha would sometimes not yield the results that you necessarily want. In the first place, she is still susceptible to things like just anti-damage, right? But also, you can, if you top check 3 and you see a climax and you mill it, you put the 2 cling back, and you swing for 3, their third card can still be a climax. Now, obviously that's not, odds are probably in your favor that you can stick the damage, but it does happen, right? And since the Shoko does not deal extra sources of damage after that top check, if they cancel, then even if you have like more Shokos, like you're not going to be in lethal range, right? If they were at like 3-0 and they cancel your first Shoko, then you'll need to swing for like 3 and 4. And that is, going to be a bit of a challenge, I would say. So definitely a powerful card, but does have its set of weaknesses. But that is our last pack for these 2 boxes. For this box, we pulled the Nodoka foil, and then these 5 double rares, where these 3 were the new ones, and these 2 the Kaede and the Nodoka were dupes. So let me clean up real quick, and then I'll let you guys see the rest of the doublers, and we'll also check out some of the high rarity that you can pull from this set. Alrighty, we're back, guys, and finishing off our 10 double rares. These are the 8 that we pulled, and these are the 2 that we didn't, and it actually happens to be 2 separate mice. So let's go over the red one first. The red Mai is actually a brainstorm. It's a search brainstorm, tap self, mill 4 per hit, search for our adolescence from deck, and then her second effect is at the beginning of our climax phase, if we have 3 or more cards in memory, you can choose one of our characters, and that character gets 500 power cross turn, so until the end of our opponent's next turn. Unfortunately, she is a search brainstorm, so we still don't have a plussing salvage brainstorm in Bunny Girl, right? The set 1 Shoko is a search brainstorm as well, and then they gave us another tap brainstorm that is also a search brainstorm, and her second effect is not super useful, if let's be honest. 3 or more memory to give one of our characters 500 power cross turn is very inconsequential, I would say. So unfortunately, this Mai is not a salvage brainstorm. Ideally, if it were a salvage brainstorm, like, I would just play her, even disregarding the memory effect, but no, it is what it is. This Mai though, this Mai is the okay hand. So this level 1 Mai is, during our turn, she gets 1000 power, and then climax combo on attack with a choice climax. If we have 2 or more other adolescence characters, we can put up to the top 3 cards of our deck, from the top of our deck to the waiting room, and then we can choose up to 1 level X or lower adolescence character in our waiting room, and then return it to our hand, and this gets +1 level until end of turn, where X equals the number of adolescence characters put into waiting room by this effect. So basically, if we choose to attack and mill 0, we get to salvage a level 0 or lower adolescence character because we looked at 0 cards and we built 0 adolescence. If we wanted to salvage a level 1, then all we need to do is mill, and then as soon as we see that we milled 1 adolescence, then we can start salvaging level 1s. If we mill 3 and we salvage 3 adolescence characters, or if we mill 3 and we mill all 3 adolescence characters, then we can salvage any level 3 or lower character. But the beauty of this Mai is that the mill counts are all optional, right? It's not as if you have to always mill to like a Shizu profile in order to salvage. It's not like it's mandatory. The beauty of this Mai is that if you, for example, have like 4 cards left in deck and you have 3 Mais, and you want to climax combo, but you want your climax to shuffle back into your deck before you refresh, you can just attack with 3 Mais and salvage 3 level 0s, and that would be the end of it. But on the other hand, like, let's say you cancel the bunch on your first deck at level 0, and you just got to level 1, but you have like 15 cards left in deck, and you just need to go through all of it. The Mai can help you do that too, because she can just mill 3, and then you can salvage, level X or lower, depending on how many adolescence characters you milled. You're going to plus either way, but then the fact that you can, choose how many cards you want to mill and still plus at the same time is what makes this particular Mai such a powerful, such a flexible card, and definitely the premier level 1 climax combo, I would say. If you just want to go with like a traditional 1k1 game plan, this Mai is definitely, I would say, the go-to pick. And then going with the choice is obviously still a very good option. Choice is one of the premier triggers in the game right now. So there are our 10 double rares. So definitely a lot to work with for this set. Unfortunately, we are still missing a couple of really nice tools like any salvage brainstorm that pluses. We do have the set 1 spammable Kaede brainstorm if you want to salvage. So if you guys need access to waiting room, there are some other ways to do so. Things like the level 0 Mai on play salvage. We also have the level 1 Sakta, that is the sack itself, discard a card salvage. So there are other ways to salvage our waiting room, but unfortunately it's not a brainstorm. So okay, and then let's take a look at some foils or SPs. So in the case of Bunny Girl, you get 1 SP and 1 secret, or 2 SPs, which is exactly the same as the first set. So unfortunately, it is kind of a bit stingy, I would say, given that there are, I think, 6 different SPs and 2 different secrets. But it's what they chose. They chose Bunny Girl to be the set that is a bit harder to pull the high rarity in. But let's take a look. I've pulled the Nodoka and the Shoko secret from one of my cases here. So the replacements, you guys can see, they have the name of the character, and then they have like a small quote, and then they have the Rascal Does Not Dream of a Dreaming Girl stamp on the bottom here. And then for the secret, the Shoko actually has purple font for her text. So if you guys remember, this particular art style, this light novel art style with alongside these kind of like cloud shapes, this is the same as the set 1 stuff too. And then this is the Irreplaceable Existence double rare, right? So you guys can see that, you know, you get a really nice upgrade in art if you guys choose to go with the high rarity for the Shoko here. Fortunately, I don't have the My Secret on me, but the My Secret is the Search Brainstorm for the double rare My, and that card is definitely, I would say, probably the card that everyone's going to start chasing for. But the level 1 My also comes SP, right? And the My being an extremely good card, and also, you know, being, I would say, the premier waifu character that people are going to be chasing for this set. So, yeah. I believe the other signatures that can come, you have the level 1 Shoko, or not the signatures, sorry, the SPs. Other SPs that can come, the level 1 Shoko, the level 2 Futaba, the level 1 Mai, the level 3 Kaede, the level 3 Nodoka, and I believe this Koga also comes SP. Yeah, so these 6 double rares can come SP, and then these can come secret, these 2 double rares come secret, and then these 2 double rares come SR. So if you guys want to, you know, just regular high rarity versions for these particular cards, they actually just come as a regular SR. Alright, and that does do it for our Rascal Does Not Dream of a Dreaming Girl box opening. We opened 2 boxes. We unfortunately did not pull any high rarity for this one, but, you know, given that it is only 2 per case, it is even harder than usual to pull one. And I think we pulled a pretty decent amount of really nice double rares. And personally speaking, I am a huge fan of the Bunny Girl series, so I definitely will have a ton of fun experimenting with different builds. Coming up, we will have, as our usual, a deck profile featuring one of the many possible builds that you can build for this new set. And then we have some gameplay matches, so look forward to that. But until then, this has been Mike on the Tressa's Collectibles channel, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!